Hey guys. So I wanted to do a post about game playing. I'm a game player. That's one of my things. It started back in the day with the game where you press the button and you had to get the hoops in the water on, or whatever toxic chemical probably was in, on the two poles. You know, you press the button and you got the hoops onto them. Oh, I was so good at that game. I got so good. Anyway, that was my first foray into gaming. Being and since then it was my family. We were a family of card players. So we would play this game called Liverpool. We played Up and Down the River. I didn't play poker with my family. I played poker much later, but um, then after that, board games, which every Gen Xer knows about board games. God, we played a ton. Risk, Monopoly. Um, I didn't. I don't think I had Shoots and Ladders and Candyland when I was a kid. My kid played those games, but I don't think I did. Oh, but whatever. Operation. I guess technically not really a board game, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so that and all those games. Um, and then in my early teens, I started playing AD&D with my brother and sister are much older. Well, my brother was 7, and my sister is 6 years older than me. And so I would go with them in their apartments and hang out. And their characters, they had their characters were represented by bottle caps with the name sketched on there. And so I started playing D&D in my early teens, and that kind of was a through line up through my college years and beyond. Um, and then I got into with my family. Most of my family are game players, and we got into Cards Against Humanity, um, Apples to Apples, and other kind of kitschy games. My niece, who's a huge gamer, has brought in other games. Oh, Bananagrams, our favorite. Love Bananagrams. Um, but yeah, so those games. Um, and then eventually, my niece and myself and my boyfriend's daughter, and eventually my child, every once a month for a good like few years, we would all get together at the kitchen table and we'd play D&D. And I was the DM mostly, and I was quite happy to be the DM. And we played AD&D because that's the one I was familiar with. I know there have been updated versions, and I've played up to, I think there's a 5.0 anyhow, for D&D. Anyway, so I've always been a game player. But I found that in my later adult years, I don't get to game with folks. I'm not able to carve out the time. And my niece has invited me to her and her friends' game nights. Um, and I just don't seem to be able to do the time, figure it out. Anyway, so my child likes to go to the gaming shop near us on the regular. So I go in and I look around and I walk around and I feel like a relic from a former era. It's like, oh, the most updated I am is Magic the Gathering. Anyway, but I look around and I'm always on the hunt for single player games. And there's not a lot out there. However, the last time we went, I found these. They're called Story Cubes. And what they are is it's a group of 9 dice, which I love dice. A lot of games that I like to play involve dice. Cosmic Wimp Out, Pirates Dice. Anyway, and what they are is they're supposed to be, you roll any number. Obviously, the directions say to roll 9, and you and whoever else you're playing with comes up with a story based on the images on the dice. Now, I gotta show you the images. Well, this is just... Alright? Right? But you can roll the dice, and you come up with a variety of different images. So there's a die, which is fun, scales, a key. So anyway, I found these and I was like, ooh. Now, I'm a writer. I mean, self-proclaimed. No one else is. Actually, a few other people have called me a writer, but anyway, nothing published. So I was like, oh, so you roll the dice, and based on the images you roll, you write a story. I was like, oh, how cool. You could do that with one person. Why not? So I bought them and I took them on vacation. I went on vacation this summer and I had a quiet couple of hours and I rolled. This was the second time I used them. No, the first time. I rolled 6 of the dice, right? So I rolled 6 of the dice and I love the sound of dice rolling. It's just soothing to me. And I wrote a story. Was it a good story? I think so. But the fun of it is you don't worry about, obviously, with any first draft, you don't worry about so much about grammar or, exactly the right tone or whatever. You just write. You get the images out there. You get the story out there. And that's what these dice do. They help you do that. And then I used them a couple more times. And I recently used them. And oh my God, it's a story that I want to turn into a short story. I think that's actually my calling. I've written 2 novels. I finished 2 books. I've tried poetry. Bad poetry. I enjoy writing. And I've been told I have an elegant style by a couple people. So, this is a really great way to get me to write. And that's what they all say, is that if you want to be a writer, write. Frickin' put your pen to paper and write, or your fingers to the keyboard, whatever works for you. I like handwriting still. I'm that old. Anyway, all right, so again, you roll all 9 cubes when you have help. I like rolling. I'm going to roll 4. I'm going to roll 4 for you. Let's see what we get. Happy writing, y'all.